depression. We all need somebody that call me, I will come running. Vako zako za samabane dada zimeni bamba zaidi ya wale. Baby, I love the way you're going down. Ukicheza katitu tustikilunda, utapenda nikikuchezea kinanda. Mama, nitakulinda kama Wakanda forever. Marcelina, sweet Marcelina, isiyotimina na inachizisha. Tunabaki shingo kupinda, kwanza hiyo rinda ikipiririnda. Freshi, na ukicheza nitacheza. Freshi, na ukisonga nitasonga. Freshi, karibia tusakate densi, wacha ikuwe kesi. Na 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 na. Niko na wewe, sitowaishu kwa moyo wangu na wewe. Umenipa pendo tangu jadi hadi leo. Tumevuka trouble nyingi tukiwa mavileo. Sasa wamefuata penzi letu kwa mitandao. Tumekuwa mfano wanatangaza kwa redio. Penzi letu limepita yote majaribio. Mambo yetu hayahusu ndewe wala sikio yo yo yo. Hata tukikula chapo ndondo, bado love iko moto moto. Maneno tam tam na matendo. Freshi, na ukicheza nitacheza. Freshi, na ukisonga nitasonga. Freshi, karibia tusakate densi, wacha ikuwe kesi. Na 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 na. Yo, freshi, when you make a tililiwa menza, a superwoman and a wonder woman. Naspia ulipeleka wapi ma woman? Nataka to hunt, to hamerunta. Nataka wewe uko Kambasam. Bia mbili troublesome. Toto painting kusota haram. Anafanya Alejandro anataka bambam. Lakini uko na tabia weird. Mfano Selena na Maria. Uongo, mkwaju plus bajia. Mitaa Sunday service, Lejo Maria. Freshi, na ukicheza nitacheza. Freshi, na ukisonga nitasonga. Freshi, karibia tusakate densi, wacha ikuwe kesi. Na 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 na. Stream music.
I know you didn't see this one coming. Alejandro had the band. Unajua ni moto, ni freshi. Karibia tusakate densi.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
Hey. 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 A main switch production. Hey.
Mapenzi ni bahari, lisilo na mwisho. Mapenzi ni moto kwa roho na haichomi.
Nimempenda msichana ewa kisonko. Mi humona kwenye ndoto usiku nikiwa ghetto. Uishi runda kwetu ni dandora. Kuna rusho makombo
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
Alongside Shamir and Sage, I miss a ring the alarm. Come on.
Ting-a-ling-a-ling, dancing within me.
I'm on another level. I'm feeling like a rebel. The love will not lose today, and not on my watch. Yeah.
Just like the smoke, yes, I'm gonna rise higher. Make sure that love in there, your heart don't go. Cause love is what this world is bleeding for.
Mercy, 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 sense many a party, party, party. Bring both the galley way skinny and he miss fatty, fatty. Dash with the body, eat a high grade party.
So sip your liquor down slow, and if you like it, you can take it down low.
You know, I never take life too serious. All of these complexities, they bind and they tear us.
Good mood, and a fast and a fighting. Everything nice, me say everything nice. Say we good, good. We not fast, we not fight. Everything nice, every day we
So make we link
alright.
up. Full up your cup and make we drink up. We tell them we don't want no trouble. We tell them we don't want no trouble. Yeah, yeah.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
A very good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to the Pawa Morning Drive. My name is Wanyoike. I officially welcome you to cruise with us all the way till 10 in the a.m. Remember, you can get in touch with us on our social media handles. We are at Power Radio across all socials. Do let me know where you're tuning in from. It's been a busy week. A lot of shoes were flying left, right, and center. We will be talking a little bit about that. And of course, our conversation for today, I will be joined by Mr. Oscar Kambona. He's an activist, and we are going to be looking at this state versus we, the people. Why is it that we have a great divide between the state and the citizens? And of course, even if the shoe incident, yesterday President Ruto, in his visit, he was being thrown at a shoe. If that incident is anything to go by, it means that there's a lot of unspoken resentment. Well, I can't necessarily say unspoken. We have been speaking up. We have been speaking about it. And so there's a lot of resentment that is building up within the citizens. And quite widespread rage and anger towards the government, and so we shall be discussing all that and much more. So you do want to keep it right here as we get into the meats and the bones of that discussion. But before we do that, let me just give you a quick update of what's happening on the roads this morning. And I start off with the high and mighty Thika Road. Thika Road, kama kawaida, just there's a lot of traffic. I can see from Survey area down towards town, lots of traffic happening as well there. Same situation is also happening along Kiambu Road from DCI bumper to bumper. It's not even funny. And actually it's both ways, inside and outside of town, looking quite hefty this morning. And actually today, so the build-up actually starts from Vindigua, just that area of Quickmart, and goes all the way down towards the DCI area. So you should be able to know what exactly you are getting yourself into. Alrighty, let's move on to Limuru Road. Limuru Road, it's looking quite busy from the US Embassy area. I think that's just as you soon pass the Village Market into Karura, kumeshikana bumper to bumper, but it soon clears out immediately as you go towards the Aga Khan Drive as well. Same situation happening along Peponi Road from Zezoro restaurant. Things are thick as well as you get into Westlands. I can also see that Lower Kabete Road is looking quite busy this morning from Zen Garden all the way down towards the Spring Valley police station. Things are looking busy this morning. Now Wanyoike Way is not looking good, actually. Nothing much is happening there. There's only just a tidbit of traffic as you go from ABC Place Nairobi, but then it soon clears out as you go towards the Mall Westlands area. Nothing much to complain about. Red Hill Link Road is also looking quite good this morning, all cleared out. James Gishuru Road is also looking not so shabby this morning. I can see that there's just a little bit of a snarler, but it's moving quite well. Let's go to the other side of town. Ngong Road is looking busy this morning, especially from the entrance towards the Junction Mall, and then soon after that, Prestige Plaza is a little bit of a traffic. It spills over towards Valley Road. What is Valley Road? Oh my gosh. It spills over towards Valley Road. And then, of course, there's a little bit of a spill as you go towards the Agwins-Kodhek Road as well on the other side. Langata Road, not looking too bad. There's just a little bit of a snarl up as you go towards Galerian Mall. Then it clears out soon after. Inaenda kushikana pale hivyo areas za Weston Hotel, but soon clears out after that. Mombasa Road, Capital Center, kama kawaida, all the way towards the Bellevue area, looking busy this morning. So you should be able to know what to do on that front as well. And last but not least, Cabanas from towards Embakasi. There's quite some snarl up there as you go towards the Cabanas bus stop as well. So in case of any incidents, do let us know. The hashtag to use is hashtag Pawa Morning Drive. Let me get into what's been making the day's headlines. And actually, I will be joined by my guest so that we can discuss what has been happening in the world of news. Keep it Power Radio. We'll be seeing you shortly after this break.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio. Alexis on the beat.
Weka mziki, leo nataka kucheza. Nina mabeshte ndani kwa party, tunataka kucheza. Shida ni mingi, leo nataka kucheza. You know, we just wanna party and enjoy. Leo lazima nyama kwa wingi, ugali kidogo, pombe kwa wingi, chesa kidogo, mapenzi kwa wingi, chuki kidogo, situzitoke mdogo. For the sun fits on us, tujibambe pamoja. For the sun fits on us, tulewe pombe pamoja. It's all about good vibes, and inshallah. Good vibes, and inshallah. Good vibes, and inshallah. It's all about good vibes, and inshallah. Mabeste ndani kwa gari, kila siku tunapare. Mabeste ndani kwa gari, kila siku si tunapare.
Holla the man them, holla the girl them. What I want every day we do it for the fun them. Sexy ladies in the party, man about money and you know it's an anthem. Give thanks to the Most High. Every day a blessing you see and we multiply. Bigger picture now your good side. A bigger picture now your good side. Jaba kwa wingi ngoi kidogo, usiogope choma foto. Pigia Cindy, pigia Jojo, na tunarudi soko. Cause I know you sacrifice, tujibambe pamoja. I know you sacrifice, situchome kimoja.
It's all about good vibes, and inshallah. Good vibes, and inshallah. Good vibes, and inshallah. It's all about good vibes, and inshallah. Mabeste ndani kwa gari, kila siku tunapare. Nina mabeste ndani kwa gari, kila siku si tunapare.
Nina mabeste ndani kwa gari, kila siku tunapare. Nina mabeste ndani kwa gari, kila siku tunapare.
Good vibes, and inshallah. Good vibes, and inshallah. Good vibes, and inshallah. It's all about good vibes, and inshallah. Mabeste ndani kwa gari, kila siku tunapare. Mabeste ndani kwa gari, kila siku si tunapare.
Jealousy, always comparing myself to you. Sometimes I feel like I overdo. Sometimes I feel like I'm over you. Sangin I feel like I have no clue. Sangin miwaga moods. Sometimes I act a fool. Sangin ninachoma sana. Sometimes tunakosana. Sometimes I act too cool. Sangin you act a fool. Sometimes you drive me crazy. I swear I drive you crazy. Consistency, consistently consistent, consistency, consistent, day by day, 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 day by day. Consistently. Anxiety, naanza tabia za self-sabotage. Naanza tabia za overjudge. Naanza kujifungia, naanza kujikazia. Mwenzio nafunga hisia. Sometimes I feel so blue. Sometimes I have no clue. Saa ingine unachoma sana. Sometimes tunakosana. Saa ingine ninapotea. Sometimes unanikosea. Sometimes you drive me crazy. I swear I drive you crazy. Consistency, consistent, consistently consistent, consistency, consistent, consistent, day
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
Road trips and young romances, breakups and second chances. Our rhythm steers through all these years. If love is a drum, you are my drummer. I'll dance to your beat only forever. If love is a drum, you are my drummer. I'll dance to your beat. My Isukuti love. Is it good for me? Is it good for me? My Isukuti love. Is it good for me? Is it good for me? Bringing the one din din and the boom boom boom. Adding my nyatiti, then it's me and you. My Isukuti love. Is it good for me? Is it good for me? Is it good? Heartbeats and stolen glances, oceans and wedding marches. Our music plays through all these days. If love is a drum, you are my drummer. I'll dance to your beat only forever. If love is a drum, you are my drummer. I'll dance to your beat. My Isukuti love. Is it good for me? Is it good for me? My Isukuti love. Is it good for me? Is it good for me? Bringing the one din din and the boom boom boom. Adding my nyatiti, then it's me and you. My Isukuti love. Is it good for me? Is it good for me? Is it good? If you wanna know the power of my love, it's not a feeling, it's an action word. You can never give it to me too much, too much. If you wanna know the power of my love, it's not a feeling, it's an action word. You can never give it to me too much, too much. My Isukuti love. Is it good for me? My Isukuti If you wanna know the power of my love, it's not a feeling, it's an action. My Isukuti love. Give it to me too much, too much.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
This is Hendrix Sam.
Misikatai, unanidai, akiwalahi, ninaogopa sitadinai. I want you to lie, ni vile ali. I'm trying to find good love, baby, baby. I'll be the one for you. one for you. Mpenzi utangoja, yeah. Mpenzi utangoja, yeah, yeah. Sitaki we uchoke, yeah. Sitaki we uchoke, yeah. I'm trying to be the best version of myself. If you wait for me, I don't need nobody else. I'm trying to find good love, baby, maybe, and I'll be the one for you.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
Alrighty, welcome back. That is Miss Fee with One For You, and it's playing right here on Power Radio. This is the Power Morning Drive show. My name is Wanyoike, and I am your host. And, I'm not your government. I promise and I deliver. I did promise that my guest is already in studio, and indeed, he's here. He's not a new face to Power Morning Drive. He's part of the family. So it's really good to see you, Mr. Oscar.
Yes.
How are you doing this morning? Wewe umetufichia white sana.
No, I'm available.
You're available.
Kwa hii country yetu.
Yes. Good to see you. Mm-hmm. Yes, so for maybe somebody who is just joining us and they've never seen you, they do not know what you are about, you can briefly introduce yourself and then we get into the dailies.
Okay, hi Kenyans. I'm Oscar Kambona. Mm-hmm. I'm a political and human rights activist. Mm-hmm. Broadly, that's what we do right now.
Yes.
But we also have other parts of Mashini Tunaishi.
Yeah.
But kwa sahi, I'm a political and human rights activist based here in Nairobi.
Yeah.
Yes.
And human rights activism is something that we really need to talk about a lot, especially because of the regime that we are living in. And so we will be talking a little bit about that and doubling down on exactly what has been happening. I think necessarily, I think it's fair to say that Kenya changed and the kind of agitation that was needed to happen really heightened from June 2024. So we will be looking at some of those happenings as well, and just everything that has happened and transpired ever since June 2024, the KPRM's statement and everything in between. But before we get into that, it has been a busy weekend for politically, and I can see that on the cover page of the Standard newspaper there is a show. There is a story here, and the title is Ruto Showdown. It's shoe. It's written shoe, but it's a wordplay pun of some sort. Trying to mimic what exactly happened yesterday. Now, a message of simmering anger was relayed to President Ruto through a flying shoe that hit him as he addressed a crowd at his last stop on his first day visit to Migori County. The incident surprised his allies who had mobilized intensely ahead of the visit. I mean, this is quite, Twitter was going berserk with a lot of comments around, huyo amekuwa ni shujaa, huyo ni surely sijui, things like huyo ni mshukiwa, like people have had a field day. But besides that, there is definitely an underlying statement here and a message. could you kindly help us unpack what does throwing a shoe at a president mean? There has to be something that the person was thinking and was going through their head. Yeah.
And you see, this is not the first time
Yes.
we are seeing such thing happens to a sitting president.
Yeah.
In our country, Kenyatta also experienced the same in Kisumu, which led to lots of fatalities by that time.
Yeah.
And we can just see that it was a shoe.
Yeah.
It has two dimensions. You see, we are seeing a shoe being thrown at the president, but this puts us somewhere. If in a crowd where the president is, someone is having that guts of throwing a shoe at him, that tells you, what if it was a gun? Because maybe that person was not just enabled. If he was enabled, he could have killed the president.
Right.
So that puts our security, details in the team.
Yeah.
We can see it as politics, but what does it tell us? It tells us that our security details is not up to their duty. Because where there is a crowd, and when the president moves, he moves with all these armored vehicles.
Yeah.
So if something of the sort can happen,
Yes.
then what does it tell us? It tells us that next time someone will carry a pistol and will fire at the president. And we know that will cause a lot of fatalities. So if that was not a shoe yesterday, more people could have been killed yesterday.
Yeah.
And that is a luxury on the part of the security.
Right.
We want to tell them that where there is a crowd and they need to do their mandate. But secondly now, when you see young people now throw shoe at the president,
Yes.
that tells you where we have reached as a nation. People are fed up.
Yeah.
People are tired.
Yeah.
And the only way they can communicate to the president, that person who did that, the only way he could communicate to the president was by throwing that to tell him, please don't launch. Can you just stop this thing? And me, sometimes I ask myself, why does the president always move around the country launching things? Instead of, these are things he can just do from the State House.
And it's not his job to
Yes,
launch
and it is not his job.
local markets.
We have governors, we have members of parliament, we have
MCAs.
members of county assembly.
Yeah.
Why would a president go and tell us that I'm launching a bridge connecting this place and this place?
That has been in existence, first of all.
And yet we have Kenha.
Yeah.
Let Kenha do their job.
Right.
Release the funding to these ministries. We don't want people who, you use the development to wipe people so that people can buy your idea thinking that you are everything to them. These things we are not begging the president. These things are enshrined in our constitution, and we have bodies mandated to do these things. So that person was telling the president that, hey, whatever you're doing, it's not your role. In fact, you're wasting our time. And you see the political class are happy that the president was there in that magnitude. Let me ask you, if you see that crowd, the way it was, they tend to tell us that if you see a crowd, then that translates to people loving you. But let me tell you, some people just turn up to see who is this Ruto.
Yes. That's it.
So people are fed up with this government and people are just looking for chances to retaliate back. But they don't have that power.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, if we were in a democracy where people could be owning guns, like I always say it, if you go to European countries, people own guns, the law governing gun owning is there. If that crowd, people had guns, how could they be speaking to the president? Everyone firing. So let's get off these vehicles. And we've told Ruto this over and over as activists, that sit at the State House, negotiate on big matters to this nation. This small, petty work, leave them to the young people to do.
That's right. Yeah.
So it is not just a shoe. It depicts on
more.
where the people have reached with the government. So any spark can lead to anything. And that is what we saw yesterday.
Right.
Yes.
And, careless statements by the women rep over there, Migori, saying that, no, the shoe was not targeting the president for the sake of it. It was, young people wanting to salimia the president. I mean,
and
in broad daylight. Unatubeba ufala.
If you read the body language of that woman.
Yeah.
If you read the body language, the first thing she said was he was addressing the media.
yes.
That the media
will report its own things.
Yes, they are going to report. Why are
We
they
saw
jumps?
it.
Yes, everyone saw it.
We saw it.
And nowadays the goodness is everyone has a phone.
Yeah.
And even the amateur that we saw yesterday was recorded using a phone.
There
it
you
was
go.
not a media. So if you are talking to, they're trying to curtail the media freedom and
censorship.
And that lady, I think she's also living in another world. Because if we saw Ruto was talking, that guy he didn't, because if he wanted to say hi to the president, we could have seen commotion, people pushing forward to greet the president.
It was targeted.
But that was targeted. And that guy calculated whether a guy or a lady, that was a calculated move because it was thrown and it hit the president.
Right.
And that is a message to the president that in coming days, today we started with a shoe, next time it will be a stone, and we are elevating.
Yeah.
If we get more empowerment, next time it will be a sniper.
You mean empowerment or armament?
Armament.
You mean armament?
Yes.
Not empowerment, but I cannot tell you that it is quite unfortunate. It's not unfortunate, not on my side.
No, it's
not unfortunate. But anyway, moving quite along, Gachagua, we saw the other day he was hosting Kalonzo, Matiang'i and Karua. This is also a story that is highlighted on the cover page of the Daily Nation. And siasa za 2027 zimekita mizizi.
Yeah.
So Matiang'i, it's official, he's on the ballot to come 2027. Another day in Kenyan politics, we see marriages of convenience, we see contractual marriages, if I could call them that, political coalitions with one agenda, and then we move on to the next hot thing. Yeah.
You see this, and I want Kenyans to be very careful with what we see outside here.
Yeah.
If you see the coalition, we are saying, and we have told them over and over that we want a representation that is mindful of the citizens. If you see the coalition that is being formed right now, and what the Gen Zs used to say, or the young people used to tell us, we want people with clean track records.
Yes.
Clean. People without bloodstain in their hands. But if you see this coalition, it is a political coalition. And does this political coalitions have the interest of the Kenyans? That's the question that we should be asking ourselves. Yes, Matiang'i, maybe he's coming from Kisii, he was, but these people have served in the past government. What were their records?
Yeah.
So I think Kenyans, yes, let's wait, because more coalitions will be coming. We need to wait and see these coalitions. But now, the leaders who will be seeking for our votes, we need to check their track records. And using that track record is when we'll place our votes.
Yes.
For me, I think there's nothing much new about Kenyan politics that has been into display of recent.
Yeah.
Because the political class have always, ganged against the people. And that's what we are seeing.
Yeah.
If these people have the true intention of helping the citizens, today they could have told us, we are here, we are organizing ourselves to give youths the leadership. Not that we want this leadership. We are organizing and we are ready even to fund that young youth who is vibrant, who can take this country forward. Because for them, we know they have previous records which are not good.
Yeah.
For instance, and I'm not saying it I'm just giving Kenyans some insight about this thing. Matiang'i, who people are really praising today. Matiang'i was the interior CS during the 2017 general election.
Right.
We were in this country.
Yeah.
We saw several times he went against the court decision. When court told him to present Miguna and reinstate him back as a Kenyan citizen, citizenship is something that you don't beg for. If you are born in this country, you are a citizen.
Yeah.
Did he listen to that?
No.
People died during this time, and you can't tell us that the buck stopped with the president. You are the person in charge of the security.
Right.
So if things happened under your watch, then tell us.
It
who
says
did
a
it.
lot. Yeah.
Yes, it says a lot. And this is the person who is now, quote unquote, people think is the best person. And I've always told people like Martha Karua, in 2007, when they knew very well that this person has won, what did they do? And we had to kill more than 1,000 people so that they get what they wanted.
Yeah.
So And the list is someone like Muturi. I don't have any personal issue, but when Muturi was the speaker, he was the majority have your way. Instead of being there as someone who is guiding the members of parliament, he was there to work for the executive. So what new, what has changed, that now they are the people.
You're on the side of the people.
Yes, they are in our side because they are not in government, but deep down in their hands, when they win these positions, they'll be the same people we used to know. And this is what I want to tell Kenyans. We need to cross-examine the behavior of these people. We need to go back to their track records and check. And if we find them good and fit for these offices, let's vote them in.
Right.
But if we see some tinted, let not vote for them. That's what I can tell the Kenyans.
Okay.
Yes.
And that story leads us to the end of our dailies, and if you may kindly grab your copy of the dailies and read for yourselves the in-depth news on that. Let's now shift gears quite quickly because we need to have this conversation. I was calling it the state versus we the people. It's not a new phenomenon. We've seen this time and time again that the government and the people, we've just not been able to see eye to eye. And before we even get to June 2024, let's even start with your work right now. When was it? A couple of weeks like a week or two ago, you gathered together with the Kenya People's Revolutionary Movement. And so you held a press conference. Could you kindly tell us what KPRM is all about and what the press conference was all about, and some of the I would call them the demands, the demands of the joint statement, and then we can go from that.
Okay, it was 2 weeks from now. We held a press conference, and we had some issues that we felt like we needed to let the government know that we have a position that we are taking. And by the way, before I move on, KPRM means Kenya People's Revolutionary Movement.
Yes.
It's a party that I'm working on.
Okay. A political party?
Yes, together with my friends, because we also felt like going as independent would be so hard to reach to, the remote areas.
Right.
But we need a national figure where all youths will feel part of. So we are working on it to register it. So what we were telling the president, a lot has happened in our country. A lot has happened. And
especially under his regime.
Yes, a lot has happened. One of the things that we highlighted, the Kenyan image in the international, the international image.
Community.
Our image now has been, that reputation has now been, the lid has been lifted. And this has happened because the president is someone who is not, mindful of what he's doing. We talked about the president sending back the RSF rebels. And if today you watch the documentary about Sudan, you'll be crying. And if the president of this nation can host the rebels in Sudan, here in our capital, what does that tell us? A lot of media houses have gone to Sudan, and the documentary is there. If you see how those people, they are killing people. Yesterday, they just bombed a hospital. The only place where people could get refuge and get treated. They bombed that place. And they're shooting people. And these are people who have taken ladies into hostages and women, and they're raping them. So if you can host such people in our country, what are you telling us? You can push us to the wall, and if we agitate or if we retaliate, we can go the way of Sudan. And this is the reason as to why these people keep on telling us that, hey, we don't want to go that route, because they know that is the route they're pushing us to. And I can tell you, war is not good. And that's what we told Ruto, kindly send those people back, let them deal with their government, because they are wanted in their countries. In fact, most of them, they even have the ban. They can't travel to European countries of the West. So we told Ruto to send those people back. Another demand that we had, we were telling Ruto to unconditionally, because, when Ruto was sworn in, he's the commander-in-chief from the armed forces. So anyone who is armed in Kenya, his head is Ruto. So you can't tell us that, police is independent. You are the commander-in-chief of all armed forces. So we were telling him to unconditionally release those who are still in detention. And those who died, if they know where they are, let them produce them. So at least the families...
This is after the June 2024
Yes.
protest, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Let them produce the dead so that the families can make peace with these people and bury their loved ones. That's what we told them, unconditional. And please also compensate them.
Okay.
Because it is your people who killed the innocent youths.
Yeah.
We also told the president, and let me tell you this.
Yes.
And I want you to be keen about this statement. The reason as to why we can't have a proper ballistic analysis report in this nation is because the guns which are being used to kill our people, to maim our people, these guns, they enter our country illegally. So tell me, if a gun gets its way to Kenya, being given to a police, because you see, these people who killed us, they belong to certain groups. For instance, if Central Police Station sent 20 people to come and quench, to quell the protest, the OCS commanding that post knows very well that Oscar was given gun X and Oscar was given 20 rounds of ammunition. So when he brings back 10, so to mean Oscar spent 10. And that makes it simple. We have the serial numbers, and using those serial numbers and the cartridges, we can track it down and know who killed who.
Yeah.
Because if I'm shot using a bullet and that bullet came from a certain cartridge and that bullet was fired from a certain rifle, we can trace it using that through ballistic analysis and know that the person who had this gun on that specific day is X or Y.
Don't we have regulations for these arms? Because as you're saying, they're entering the country illegal. Illegally.
Let me just tell you maybe what you might not know.
Yes.
Yesterday you saw the news. You are the media people. You told us that banditry is back. And someone was killed. And even the reservists, the police reservists are also being killed. Let me ask you, do you think those guns are registered in Kenya?
Tell us.
A full CS was talking yesterday, telling a community that don't buy guns. Don't buy gun. In which law in this country are you allowed to buy a gun? It is the government to give you license to own a gun. You don't have to buy a gun.
Yeah.
You have to prove that I need a gun for this and this and that.
This and that.
So if a full CS knows, and he said it categorically that these guns get into our country through the porous borders. So what are we doing as a nation? And these are the guns that they take, mix with now their serial guns. And when they are dispatching their teams to come and, quell the demonstrations, amidst those people who are sent, some of them are given these illegal guns. And this is the reason as to why, even if you today have 10 cartridges, and we have the dead people, and we have the autopsy reports, and we have the ballistic analysis, we can't match those things. Because how will you match a gun which is not licensed? And that is what we told Ruto, that we know what is happening. We know people who have the guns. Stop pretending to Kenyans that, for instance, there was an MP was shot.
Yeah.
Up to now, we know how far the government have gone.
Yeah. Oh my God, we need to talk about that.
We know how far the government have gone.
Yeah. They've even gotten the assailants.
Yes, but we are talking about we are talking about something which happened almost 1 year
10
ago.
months ago, yeah.
And this number is not even huge.
Yes.
Let's say around 300 people died.
Yes. So this continued disregard of Kenyans' lives,
And I'm telling you, that thing is hard because of the illegality of gun ownership.
Right.
And that's what we told him.
Yesterday, there was a girl that was spotted in one of Nairobi's estates just walking with a rifle.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it is trending.
It is trending.
One of the things we told the president is that we want the ballistic report analysis for all those guns and the cartridges that were found.
Okay.
We want to know which police officer was on duty that day, who fired from where, and we'll get now to know, was that officer under threat
or
to a point of shooting, live bullets.
Yeah.
So that was another issue that we were raising with the president.
Right.
There is another issue that even the parliamentarians are now joining us. And we talk before they talk.
Yeah.
So they talk after us.
Yeah.
after the blood parliament.
Oh, my
They have
God.
now come to tell us that they don't want the British army bases in Kenya. But the Batuk.
What a deflection. By the way, let's even talk about that. When you watched
Yes.
it, what came to your mind? What was your initial reaction?
You know,
Yeah.
you know, even the person who is today working with the president, that is Raila Amolo Odinga. Him himself, he knows very well that our agencies don't have the capacity. And that's why sometimes we even outsource for, you know, security intelligence from, you know, developed countries to come and help us. So when we got the blood parliament, it is just another thing like for opposition calling for, we need independent, you know, we need independent body to come and help us, you know, understand what happened. Raila has called that for several times. He called the how do you call them, from the US to come and tell us who stole the elections. So it is not wrong if a foreign, you know, press highlighting something that, you know, they have curtailed the media of Kenya.
Yeah.
So if a foreign media can tell us what happened, then where's the problem? But now I was telling you, the MPs now are saying, let's send back the Batuk. And let me tell you, if you go to Laikipia, you know, I'm also an environmentalist. If you go to Laikipia, you see these air bases. You know, they are calling them, in quotes, conservancies.
Conservancies, yes, yeah.
Those conservancies are full of minerals. So they are just using the name of... what are they conserving?
What are they
How many
conserving?
animals are in those conservancies to be conserved?
Close to none.
Close to none.
Yeah.
Those are army bases, and that's where the illegal deals changes hands. And
what kind of minerals are, for example, like in the Batuk Base and whatnot?
what I'm saying,
Yes.
these are air bases. I mean, they are military bases with airstrips. So if there is some gold from somewhere that they want to ship out of the country without passing through JKI or any other international airport that we have, they'll use the bases, because who will question?
No one
do you have
questions
the power
military.
to enter a military base?
Absolutely
As
not.
who?
Yeah.
So those are where they exchange, you know, they get our minerals from somewhere, you know, where even currencies, you know, they're stashing a lot of our currency in offshore accounts. So they don't want to pass through the airport, so they use the military bases, you know, to airlift those things. And that's what we said. We don't need the whites in our country. What are they doing in our country? We are fully independent. What are they doing?
And you see, that's why they want to kill Traore.
Yes. If we wanted our people to train, the same way we sent our police officers to Haiti, we can send them to US, go train for 3 months and come back. We don't have, you know, we don't need American, you know, air base here. I mean, military base in Kenya. If we want Kenya's police officer or KDF to get some expertise, let us send them to the US. Let them go and learn, or to Israel, or to wherever, and come back. So these people, they know what they're doing. And, you know, the whites, for these people own huge, you know, the lands that these people own in the name of, you know, conservancies, you know, ranches. Yet our own people doesn't have land. So we are saying, let them give us back our lands, which they are wrongfully owning. We give back to the squatters. Yes.
Okay, so are those the final demands? Is that everything
No.
demands?
We had so many demands.
Okay.
We also told the president to scrap off the university funding model, scrapping off the university funding model.
Yeah.
We told the president, by the end, let me tell you this.
Yeah.
I was in Kenya. At no point did people raise issues with the NIF, NHIF. Yes, you know, they are crooked people, you know, you can't eliminate that. But at no point did majority of Kenyans complain about NHIF.
Yes.
So if the government thought that NHIF had some loopholes, they could just fix that loophole and we proceed. So we told the government to pay all pending bills. You know, they're just escaping paying people. These people gave their services. So we told the government to pay all pending bills owed to NHIF and reinstate back NHIF. We also told the government that we want Linda Mama back. How will our women give birth? You know, majority of Kenyans don't have money to take their women to, you know, Nairobi hospital and blah, blah.
Yeah.
And people don't even have money to cater for the clinics for their women. So Linda Mama was there to help our ladies and women. So we want the president to reinstate back Linda Mama. And these things we are not negotiating and we are not begging.
We are demanding.
Yes, we are demanding for these things to be reinstated back.
Yes.
And we also talked about the forensic audit to our public debt.
Okay.
Something which is so crucial in this country. And we keep on telling our people that, we have 10 trillion plus debt. Can we know how much do we owe the international community? In this 10 trillion or 11 trillion, the domestic debt that we have, how much is it? Under what circumstances did these people lend us this money? Where were this money injected? To what projects? Who are the contractors? Who benefited from this money? If there is no benefit that is directly linked with the citizen, then let those people who receive this money pay for that debt. And that's what we are telling. We want a forensic audit to know how much do we owe, because maybe they have even ballooned it. Maybe it's even less. And they just want, you'll be paying 11 trillion, maybe at the expense of paying 8 trillion. So the balance goes to them. We want a forensic audit, and these are also things that we are not asking the president. We want that forensic audit to happen so that we know how much do we owe the international community, how much debt do we owe our local people, the banks, And now from there, we'll get to know which projects were funded with this amount, because it is the public domain. The past regime has touched a lot of cash, of Kenyan shillings, in foreign accounts.
Yeah.
Can they release this money to come back to Kenya? Because if we do this one, we'll just know if Uhuru is the one who took this money and, with these cronies, they ate it, we will have to know. Because you can't tell. And what 11 trillion can do is much.
It's quite unfortunate. How many hospitals can be built?
If 2 billion, Jaramogi Oginga Odinga was just allotted around 2 billion.
Yeah.
And you can see the joy that is in people's faces. 1 billion can build a mega structure. So if you're talking about 999 billion, which translates now to 1 trillion, and we now move from 1 trillion to 11 trillion, surely.
Yeah.
In which country are we living in?
Yeah.
The dams which were meant to be built using this money are no longer there. The money was stolen. The people who stole it are now retired. Can we get that money back? Some projects were not even, worked on with engineers.
Yeah.
So we are telling the president to, do a forensic audit to that one, because there is also that, there's that friction between the government and the auditor general, and that just tells you what is happening. Yes. So that was another demand which we had.
You raised.
Yes. And part of that also, we told the government that we want gazettement of all government projects.
Okay.
Both work in progress, the completed ones, the money pumped into those projects, and the contractors who won those tenders. And if you want to, sanitize this government, it begins from there. Because even huge amounts of pending bills that we are paying, some are not genuine. And we are being squeezed to pay taxes, to pay these pending bills, and and what we believe in are these projects that the government keeps on telling us that they did this, those projects are no longer there. So if they are there, do a gazettement of all the projects, so that even me as Oscar, I can know there's a project which happened maybe in Meru, Ishiara, or in Embu, Ishiara, and I can go to Embu and confirm that indeed, if they were allocated 1 billion, this project is worth 1 billion, and it is in the documents of the general auditors of Nini. So if the president is willing, to work on the corruption stuff, let him gazette all the projects. Those completed, we need to know, work in progress, the amount of money pumped into those projects, and those who were awarded the tenders, because you'll also find some of those people who are awarded the tender are working with government. And there's that rule that if you are in government, you can't do business with government. So there's a lot of rot in this government that if today we start unleashing, Kenyans will go haywire. Yes.
And the beginning of it happened last year, 2024. But, even as we talk about the I would call it a very volatile relationship between the state and the people.
Yes.
the mishandling of this relationship oftentimes is told as, oh, the people are hostile, you guys are criminals. I mean, we saw it even in June 2024. The Gen Zs were termed as criminal, yet who is the real criminal here? It's the state for sure.
Yes,
So
yes.
how, moving forward, how do we fix our nation, if I could call it that? Because clearly we are focusing on the wrong ones. The people are not the problem. It is the state that is the problem, you know? When you hear something like this woman rep of Migori saying that they wanted to salimia the president, I mean, let's be honest with ourselves. Yeah.
So me what going forward,
Yeah.
you know, now we have to provide also solutions.
Yes, yes.
Going forward, we've done a lot of talking. And, you know, we keep on, you know, throwing aspersion, you know, the government saying it is us who are hard to work with, and we are saying the government. But now we need a point of equilibrium here.
Yeah.
And for me, the first solution that I have
Yeah.
is for Kenyans, you included, for Kenyans
Yes.
to realize that if you sit back and relax, nothing is gonna happen. We need to and you know, if those who wrote our constitution, if there was no need for peaceful assembly and agitation of your rights, awangeweka pale. So Kenyans need to know that it is high time you come out from your because me as Oscar and a few activists, we can't do this thing alone.
Yeah, it's 55 million of us.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is. And if you want to sit somewhere and say, oh, that is Oscar doing it, let Kenyans come out, let's speak in one voice, and this thing is possible. And today, I've passed through CBD to here. How many people do you think are in CBD today?
Quite.
If today, because this thing doesn't even need organization.
Yes.
If today everyone who is in CBD just start like,
By the
we
way,
need a change. What will they do? How many people are in CBD today?
well, give or take, you know, we can.
Over 100,000.
Yeah.
If they start, and those who are within estates and those who are everywhere, you know, it is, they're waiting for someone to start. And I'm telling you that someone is not there. That someone is you. You need to come forth. And because, Anne, you're asking for a solution.
Yes.
We have all the agencies required in this nation to push us forward. But what happens to them? If you are talking about the jitters that we have with the government, we have IPOA. IPOA, not for once, IPOA has come out to say that, you see, these people are not giving us the evidence that we want. You go to the police boss, he's saying, but IPOA, you know, have not requested. You go to some files are being pushed to the ODPP, he says, it doesn't meet the threshold. How will it meet the threshold if the security organ doesn't want to even produce the armory which was used to the IPOA, which is independent, to, you know, give us a clear headline on what is happening. So these bodies which we have, we can't trust them.
Yeah.
We can't trust them because they are also working for state. If IPOA truly was working for the citizens, and if it was independent, and we are saying it was, IPOA could have been the first people in the street to call us that, hey guys, they have refused to give us this and this. Can you come out and help us so that we get this information? But what are they doing? They're just quiet. They're earning salary. And these bodies are not helping us. So Kenyans should come out.
Should we scrape them off now? What do you suggest?
You know, that's a constitution for us
Problem.
to remove. For us to remove these commissions,
Yeah.
we have to go the constitutional way. Some were also created by act of parliament.
Yeah.
And who are in those parliament?
The same
The same people.
Yeah.
So I think we will just have to, and that's what the Gen Z used to call it, a total overhaul of everything. And for that to happen, most people are saying that we have to wait for 2027. And I'm telling you, 2027 is an electioneering year.
Yes.
You'll only be voting for your representatives.
Yeah.
You won't change these things. If you have to change these things, come out to the street. They'll hear your voice the same way they heard your voice last year when you spoke. So if you wait for 2027, what you are just waiting for is voting. And who gave you the guarantee that your vote will count? So if you know what Kenyans are delaying, finally will have to happen 2027. Because let me just tell you the truth.
Yeah.
People are waiting for, Ruto has used this narrative that the legitimate way of removing a president is only through ballot. The constitution says we can exercise our sovereignty either through representation, which we do even by electing the president, or directly. So what does this directly means? Why is he insisting that we have to go to voting? Yet the constitution, the same constitution that talks about voting also talks about direct representation. So if we are tired with this government and we can't recall them because recalling moved through parliament and parliament also has capture of the parliament, what option do we have?
Right.
Come to the street, get him off. You know, the unconstitutionality that people are talking about after we've gotten the president out, we will sit down again and say, hey guys, we are in this fix.
Again.
The president is not here,
But
the deputy
the
is not,
people.
but we have to lead. So what are we doing? And please be the president.
Get into that.
Yes. So let me give you an example. For instance, Bangladesh.
Yes.
You know, they went for demonstration after us.
Yes.
And I've been following a lot which is happening just to see whether the youths, what they wanted,
Yes.
they can do when now given the power.
Yeah.
And by then, most youth got government positions.
They did.
Let me tell you, Bangladesh didn't even think of what will happen if the prime minister is not there and other people.
So that
They just
short-sightedness.
yes,
Yes.
they just wanted that regime to
To
go.
go.
And that's what I'm saying. Let Ruto go with this entire government. Whatever will come, the constitution is made for us. And we're the people who made that constitution. When we are in that fix, we'll now say, okay, guys, we found ourselves here. We don't have a president who can take us as we organize for election. You know, there's that fear, you have IBC. IBC is a commission that Kenyans requested for some time back.
Yeah.
It has been developing. So again, we can also sit and say we don't need an IBC.
Yeah, the same
Yeah,
way
the same way
president-
we created it.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, you bring up a very important point, which is, I think we are united by one thing, which is let's see the regime out, right? But
Yes.
then I don't think we've gone to the extra mile of thinking about what do we do after. For example, if the impeachment of Ruto happens, what do we do after? And perhaps even these political coalitions that we are seeing left, right, and center, they also came with that one united voice. They just want this regime to go. But nobody is questioning, but what will you do better? So how do we move past the politics of we just want to oust you, but we do not even have a plan for our own selves? Where do we go? How do we ensure that we are having such a conversation? And I mean, you as part of the KPRM, I'm sure there is something that you must be thinking about in
Yes.
on that front.
And today,
Yeah.
I have a document that we've been doing for the past 1 year now. In the document, we even have a plan of having a new capital city.
Okay. Wow.
Yes.
What would the capital city of Kenya be?
We in the document we are suggesting either Isiolo or Malindi.
Malindi. How? Why?
But
Why?
But sana tunaisukuma ikuwe kwa beach front.
Okay.
You know, we need a world class capital city. But let me answer this first.
Yes.
We have a plan. And I'm telling you, even where you are seated right now, you have a solution to some of the problems that we are facing in the country. The only problem that we have is the representation, the leadership. It doesn't, we have, you know, it doesn't mean that if we get Ruto out, now Oscar won't think critically on how to move this country forward. Because what we've realized, there are those key sectors of economy that shape a country. So, and these key sectors of economy, the current regime is not even giving them, you know, priority. Agriculture. And there is no way Kenyans will be, you know, to the world, you know, we won't be that first-class economy that we're talking about if we can't sustain ourselves in terms of the food.
Yeah.
So we need to invest much on the agriculture. And these are some of the discussions that when the regime is out, and now we want to sit, it is a document that we have. So we'll just be sharing with the people that, hey, we need to work on agriculture, we need to work on health, because there is no nation that thrives with poor health system. And you are in Kenya. the current health system,
Unfortunately.
the current health system is very poor. You know, they're just trying to sugarcoat it, but it is very poor. And that's why you see most dignitaries, when they fall ill, you know, they run to abroad.
India,
How many people can afford to even have flights even to Uganda?
Flight.
Yes.
A meal is a problem.
A meal is a problem. So, and we have solutions. The problem which we have is the leadership.
Why is it not translating though? That's what I want to understand. Like, why is it not translating to the people? Are the people disillusioned perhaps of the power that they have, you know, bestowed even within our constitutional frameworks?
I don't think so.
We the people, sovereignty, all those
no,
things.
I know Kenyans understand what their role is in this country. But the problem is, for instance, I have a document.
Yes.
If today I want to share this document with the people who can, you know, work on it, they'll just sit on it because they don't have that goodwill of this country. And that's what we are saying. If we can find someone with the goodwill, and let me just pick one sector of economy, which is transport sector.
Okay.
And let me just pick one town, Nairobi. And if we had a government of goodwill to better the transport sector in this country, today Nairobi could have more trains than more matatus. Because the money that is paid to the you know, the railways you know, body, it is money that is injected to government direct. So with that money they can manage the railway lines and, you know, the booths and all that. But this money that is being connected by the private sector, and if today some matatu owner, for instance Super Metro, if they make today 200 million,
Yes.
will you go to them and tell them that, hey guys, you've made a lot of money, can you give us 20 million? No. There's a law that is maybe per matatu every day 500. What is that? And just imagine those matatus moving in our roads for a whole day.
Yeah.
But in a single day they only pay 1,000 bob. What is that? So if government had goodwill to even better the transport sector, they could have come up with a train which we will pay the charges, the fares, and that fare is injected back to government, and it can translate immediately to betterment of the roads, maybe, or you see such. So what we are saying, Kenyans know what they can do, but we don't have the people with the goodwill to implement this thing. And the big problem with Kenya is implementation. And with this, you know, and it is not only leadership in you know, executive. This thing cuts across even to those in the you know, the PSC. Today, go to a government office, people are tired. People don't want to offer services. People get out, they go to private sector. People are not mindful even of, you know. So Kenyans, we know what we can do, but because the leadership has always told us that, you know, we are not so much mindful about these things. So everyone is just living a day, okay, wacha leo ikuje venye imekuja, kesho pia tukiamka ni sawa, tusonge hivyo.
Yes.
So we are telling the citizens is we should know that if we don't come out, even that 2027 you are waiting for, nothing much will change. Because what if they steal? What if they steal? What if they steal and they tell you again that, hey, wait, you know, we went to a process, so can we wait for the court? And again, they have colluded with the court, and the court now validates the stealing. So what will you people do again? The same thing you are now postponing is what you will do 2027. So you'll come to the street. So the same thing you are postponing automatically will replicate itself again. So that's what we are saying. There's no need of waiting to 2027. Come out to the street, get this government out. Let's not care whether we are going against the constitution. The constitution, it is us who made it. Let's get this government out, get our young people into system, people who have goodwill of this country, and have these documents now presented where people can sit, you know, and talk and reason. Because even this capital city, Nairobi is you know, there's nothing even a leader in Nairobi can do. You can't redesign Nairobi.
No, it's done for.
You can't, because even the sewer system of Nairobi, you can't. How will you redesign it? You'll have to uproot this tall buildings. So it is a total mess. How will you do better roads in Nairobi?
I saw Sakaja saying that he's reinstating green spaces and they are no longer there.
I'm telling you,
How?
what do you want to reinstate?
What do you mean?
We only
Kwani
have-
ulikuwa wapi zikifanywa
Hizo
nini?
mashamba haziko,
Haziko?
zimenyakuliwa.
Yes.
So what do you want to reinstate?
Yeah. So a lot of talk happens.
And by the way, before
yeah,
you continue,
yeah.
even about let's talk again about this Nairobi River thing. Even reclaiming this Nairobi River. And you know where the Nairobi River comes from? Where we are.
Uko.
Hapa juu.
Yes.
And hapo you tell me, whose house will you demolish? Because that's where it will begin. If you want that spring to flow naturally,
Yeah.
and we call it a river, because what is flowing currently in Nairobi River is sewage.
It's sewer.
Yes.
And in Anzanga huko, I usually pass seeing it's very clear, but by the time nafika hapo Globe,
Yes.
my God,
It's sewer now.
it's quite unfortunate. But even on that, everybody seems to think that June 2024 changed the trajectory of this country for the better. Do you feel the same way? And
Absolutely.
how do we ensure that we are sustaining? Because yes, June happened, last year it happened, but I do not feel as if we have been able to sustain that energy, perhaps. So moving forward, how do we know we are rounding off to 1 year anniversary. I know for sure that ground najua watu wanataka kutokelezea June 2025 for sure. But even for future movements and stuff, how do we ensure that we keep this vigilance on, we sustain the conversation? Because as we've seen, it's clear that the government is not going to they are not necessarily interested in the well-being of the people. We kind of have to fight for our own selves, as you're saying, that all of us as a collective, we need to cultivate the goodwill and stay there. No, don't move on. Just stay there. Don't be caught up in the frenzy. Then we move on.
I think I would say that the fight, how the youths came up. We can't say that we are not now organized or we've taken a back seat. The fighting that the Gen Zs did, it has been fueled using the social media.
Yes.
And thanks to God that in this generation we have the social media. So if you can go to your social media, it is evident that Kenyans are having daily conversation. Even today, anything which will happen today. In fact, the media houses come even the second. The news is there before even the media.
The news before the news.
Whether fake or not fake, we have the news. So I think we are still keeping the The only problem is that which I talked about, that Ruto and the government has always used the government machinery to instill fear. So the conversation is there. In fact, it is more little. And let me tell you, if today anything happens and you see people in street, you want to get people off the street again.
Right.
I'm telling you this one. So that fear is what is keeping people not to converge. But we are converging in a social media platforms. And that one, it is so evident. You can check your TikTok, you can check Facebook. You'll see that Kenyans are having daily conversations about matters affecting them. But now how do you call it? To come out now is now the problem. And even you people,
Kwa ground.
Yes, kukuja kwa ground ndio mnaogopa because of that.
Abductiwe.
Yes, abductiwe or you'll be killed. And that's why we are telling people, if today Oscar have survived from last year, not even beyond last year, have survived to date.
Yes.
So who told you you'll be dying? Who told you you'll die? And if your death was made to be that way, so be it. So Kenyans, please, don't fear death. Because whether you sit at home, whether you come to the... And how many people do die through road accidents? How many people drown?
So many.
Juzi tumeona tu flood imeua mtu.
Yeah.
Was that person ready to die?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely. So let me tell Kenyans. Death mtu hachagui. You come out. We need that umati. Come out, join us. Because if we are 20 of us, we won't give an impact. But if today we have 1 million people in the streets, even the police can't shoot. Because whom will they be shooting? If they shoot, we can even get hold of how many policemen and women do we have in this country? They can't even surpass 5 million. And we are over 50 million of us. If you less the children, maybe we are still more than them. So if today what we Nairobi, we agree that we want to agitate for our right and we want to fight for a good cause, the police, we can overwhelm them. So Kenyan citizens should know that even if you sit back at home, maybe hiyo ghorofa umekaa inaweza anguka ukuue. So whether you sit at home, unaweza kuna unameza mate na mate ikunyonge.
Yes.
So let people not fear death. Let's fight for our country. And this country, let me tell Kenyans something. Today you don't want to fight for your country. Tomorrow it will be your child who will be crying. Today you might see it is Oscar trying. Tomorrow it is your child mwenye tunafaa tusaidie sasa.
Yeah.
So let's come out and fight for a good cause and have a better country.
Yeah.
Recently I saw the president bragging on, Kenya being ranked 6th. Kenya being ranked 6th, yet Kenya was in the same caliber with Singapore, in 1994 coming upward. So, even telling us Kenya is being ranked 6th doesn't add anything to us.
It's not a glory.
Yes,
it's not a badge
glory.
of honor. Yeah.
Kenyans, come out. If you hear any call, in fact, the call that we made a call for a nationwide demonstration.
Yes.
I was called and told to recant that statement. And also the media houses. Let's.
You were called by who? The powers that be?
Yeah.
Who called you? The government?
No, I don't know the number.
Oh.
Yes.
But they called you.
I was called and told that statement. You tell those media houses that covered it not to air it. I didn't call them. But only later, the media houses didn't air it.
They didn't air it?
Yes, and I can't mention the media houses, but you saw the media houses that were there.
Yes.
And I have the video.
Were they giving you death threats? Did you receive any threats?
No, I was just told that thing should not go to the news.
Well, here you have it.
And the media guys didn't also air it. And I was asking myself, so
who are we?
Are
we on our own?
You mean the media can cover something
and not air it?
Because of the sensitivity of the document, they are told not to air it.
So there's a problem there.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I served them. Before the media came, I served them with an invitation letter.
Yes.
We went to the outside parliament. We were shown where we could do the coverage. We were being chased away from parliament, our own parliament. Not. So what I'm saying, even that intimidation, we cannot tolerate it further.
Right.
So Kenyans, come out, join us, and help us fight for a good cause.
Then I think we have to drain the swamp dry. Because if the media is part of the problem, drain the swamp. If our schools are part of the problem, drain the swamp.
I think the media are trying, but there is that fear. And the problem now is the owners of the media houses. The owners. As an employee of a media house, you would be willing to cover and to air.
Yeah.
But now there is that owner who will
Media
be called,
ownership.
just a single call.
Yeah.
Hello, we've seen some news in your media house. Kindly rectify it or we shut
This will
down.
implicate us.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm just asking the government, let the media do their role.
Yeah.
Because they are the eyes of the people.
Yeah.
Let them do their job. Let them, and how will you prove that the statement which I read is fake or not fake? Who will tell us what is fake and what is not fake? So just let the media do their work. Media has auditorium team. Before something is aired, they'll go through it. So if they have gone through my document and they've seen that it is okay, why do you call them and tell them not to air it?
Right.
We could have had the demonstration.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it is just being postponed.
Yeah.
And I'm happy that Kenyans, the more we wake up, the more there is that need for us to come to the streets. And finally, we have a date. On 25th June.
Yes.
25th June of this year.
Anniversary.
It is our anniversary. And through that anniversary, we'll tap it otherwise. Yes.
Okay. Wow, let's take a quick breather. We are here with Mr. Oscar Kambona, political and human rights activist, and we are discussing the relationship between the state and we the people. Clearly, from what he's saying is that we seem to be alone on our own. So let's explore more solutions that are people-based that will get us to the promised land when we get back from this break. Keep it Power Radio.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
Well, you see, love makes you do crazy things. Ask my shoes, uliza kiatu
shoes, uliza kiatu. Masaibu ninayoyapitia kukupeleka dina, uliza kiatu. Na kaderi ninavyokatafuna, eti ndo ukule baka pizza, uliza kiatu. Ask my shoes, ask my shoes, uliza kiatu, uliza kiatu. Nimekopa nikupe, kumbe wewe ndo kupe. Nang'ang'ana ndo tule, juhudi zangu bure. I heard that love should always make us strong, but how I feel, I think that they were wrong. Ask me why. Nasema taxi nilipe, rent mi nikupe, yole sisongwe Mombasa, sitwene mapenzi nikupe, mpaka we unitike. Nasema taxi nilipe, rent mi nikupe, yole sisongwe Mombasa, sitwene mapenzi nikupe, mpaka we unitike. Ask my shoes, ask my shoes, uliza kiatu, uliza kiatu. Ask my shoes, ask my shoes, uliza kiatu,
Kitendawili,
uliza kiatu.
kitendawili. Tega. Nilimuonyesha mapenzi akanionyesha mfuko. Alisema do ya salon ni thao tu, na kwa mfuko nilikuwa na mbao juu. Alisema naenda PE. Akirudi nilimpata akimeza P2. Alikutega. So niko stuck katikati kama stick ya mshikaki, na mpenda huyu mshikaji but kiatu tu ndo najua story. Yani vile mi mchocha nimemflash bahati mbaya juu niko na deni ya boba Kolimo. Yani vile mi ukanyaga matope kabla nifike kwa lami, na ile stress mi upitia kabla nimbongeshe kilami. Yani vile mi mpandisha taxi then naenda kudandia gari ya moshi. Yani vile mi umhasilia dikiatu wangu naanza kutoa moshi. Yani vile mi muita baby juu najua nikimuita njerio naanza geuka L, na hiyo mama zako nimeispoil. Yani vile nimetama kadi timba yangu naanza geuka sanda. Kani vile yani kani kukopa nimekopa, yani kani kukoka nimekoka, yani kani 9 nimepigana tu nilvisho vigake namba 8, na hata usiku nipate menchora 8 toa moja 7. Vile nimesaga mpaka toja, nikamtangeti mimi naishigi umoja, nikamwesha mpaka mimi si mwana vioja, eti na wako mahakamani kusolve vitimbi za dunia bila shaka mashtaka. Yani vile tele dunia kasimama tasimama pamoja. Yani vile kama penzi ni nywele basi nimemsetia nati. Yani vile kama penzi ni kikozi basi bila shaka niko na TB, niko na fever jona niumiza. Yani vile kama penzi ni mistari basi nimemwandikia sentensi matenzi mpenzi na kuenzi vishenzi. Niko cheesy crazy mwizi au mapenzi funge I'm guilty. Yeah, to testify.
Ask my shoes, ask my shoes, uliza kiatu, uliza kiatu. Ask my shoes, ask my shoes, uliza kiatu, uliza kiatu.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
Mr. Speaker, we don't fear you. Tuko ndani. We stomped inside.
Condolences to the families and friends of all the Gen Z we lost 2024. Our freedom fighters, our heroes. I'm offended. Little. I'm more than offended, bro. I'm disgusted. Aje sasa. Yeah, skiza. Ini more than just music. Ini chant, ni kas kwa wapuze. Yeah, ini more than just music. Ini chant, ni kas kwa wapuze. Ini more than just music. Ini chant, tunakaa sawa puzi. Leo anatuona tuliwavotia tu juzi. Saini ya aibu gani? Na mkipiga magoti nyuomba Mungu mgani? Na under your watch mmeua watu wangapi? Kennedy Onyango 12 years Rongai. Denzel Omondi mlimchukulia uhai. Hapa ni wapi? Hapa ni wapi? Maumbo walai. Austin Makoha, Christian Gitonga, Joshua Ombati
Jackson sitati, bado tunawapenda, kuna siku watu wa hati. Waresh wetu, heroines wetu, Caroline Shiramba na Valentine Jerry. Aja surrender, bado mapambano daily. Mbiti Scott, Clinton Mavali, usiku kucha tuko macho hatulali. Kelvin Madanga, Emmanuel Tata, Lemayen Kasaine, Matthew Njoroge, Kelvin Mawasi na Kennedy Njeru. Tawakumbuka diaspora mpaka Ujeru. Eric Iratu, Ibrahim Wanjiru, Kennedy Maina na Erickson Kialo, Eric Kayoni na David Chege, Beasley Kogi, Mike Hunga. Chenye mlifanya mikono tunawaunga. Fegi tuliwasha hadi filter wanakula. Tiaga swali tupa kama shisha tulivuta. Rex Masai muweke picha kwa manguo. Mfundishe history makampo mpaka na machuo. How kids, women and men you haven't mentioned were killed in 2024 fighting for the nation. Yeah, ini more than just music. Ini chant, ni kas kwa wapuze. Yeah, ini more than just music. Ini chant, ni kas kwa wapuze.
Tumechoka kusikia hiyo story ya mlima. Mara mumeshika na murembe mzima. Wasomi viongozi wamegeuka wakabila. Inchi yetu literally wametupa ndani ya pipa. Opposition walidandia vipi? A movement ya vijana wakajigawia viti. Wananchi ndo walishikwa wakalala ndani ya jela. Wengine wakapigwa marisasi wakagenya. Damn, president bila emotions. Na kila Sunday namuona kwa devotions. Na huyo Mungu ndo atakupiga viboko. Wazazi wetu wakikulia mikopo. Wajui state of our roads wanatumia machopa. 1 million wanabaia maboxa. Imagine budget paka ofisi ya Dokas. Ndo mtueleze hiyo ndiyo kuokoka. Mnataka kuza airport kwa Dan bana. Na hiyo deal tunaielewa kwa undani sana. Na hiyo kitu umepea joo, hiyo ni hatari sana. Na umekimya tukiwao, hapana bana. Wengi ni taxi mewa cost makaria. Wanabiashara wakaenda loss wakalia. Nyi mnadhani tunafaa kuimport kadamia. Ndani ya cage kimawazo kama Duale na ngamia.
Ini more than just music. Ini chant, ni kas kwa wapuze. Yeah, ini more than just music. Ini chant, ni kas kwa wapuze.
Kwani we ni leader wa nani? Nyumbani kwako we hautujali. Badala ya ajira nyumbani, mayouth wanatumwa kwa inchi za mbali. Tunahitaji manpower home, tubadilishe kila mitaa hapa home. Hata mimi nadai better education, proper medication, walimu na pension. Mavipi Gen Z, ini times unajua, ikituuma ni lazima tuiseme. Na kuna kubonga mo, mana inchi wamekaa mkuu wachuja. Gen Z, ndio times unajua, ikituuma ni lazima tuiseme. Na kuna kubonga mo, wana inchi wamekaa mkuu wachuja.
Britain siko so open, crocodile tears inahitaji intervention ya kitunguu. Vitu kikwa life chishapoteza meaning, pombe inatumika kutoa lock, jumulishapoteza kifunguu. I'm offended. Youth uko depressed, una kazi na serikali inapea kazi wenye wanafaa wawe retirement. So mbona una tense na hata mood ya worry? Hakuna hata pesa ya kulipwa peanuts. Squeezy kila mtu anauza njugu. Si wenzetu wakati wa kura ndio wanakumbuka kutuita mandugu. Serikali ingekuwa inajali what we say, Parliament ingekuwa na headphones na sio speaker. Mchana wanalala bunge na usiku wanataka night allowance. Hatred ni more, love ni rare. Wakristo ndo wako na chuki sana. Ironically, some of their favorite verses iko in the book of Romans. Truth iko na arrogance. RIP our fallen comrades. Huku Kenya of life's importance. Let's teach our girls. Squeezy wengine wanatumia miadarati ndio wawe women of substance. I'm offended. We have a long way to go as a country na sio distance. Wafungwa bado wanaibia watu wakiwa kwa jela, propaganda ndo ina sell. Hapo State House wasikudanganye na deeds. Wataki kwenda heaven, wanaogopa kwenda hell. Wasikudanganye na words, body language can tell. Misplaced priorities. Hakuna maji kwa mifereji na maasa ya kura, wako busy kutap talent. Waliahidi stadium lakini kwa grounds vitu ni different. Nakuru, Kihika, Naiba na Samburu. Avieta governor ako loyal to Adani. Money trees wako majani. Promises ni mingi lakini manifesto zao ni kama katiba. Zote zinasema vitu zenye hakuna. I'm offended.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
Yes, that is Offended. I'm offended by a couple of incredible artists there, and they're just speaking about some of the offenses that the government causes us to Kenyans. And it's playing right here on Power Radio. This is the Power Morning Drive show. We are still having conversation around we'll call it the hostility between the people, we the people, and the state, and what can we do to move past that and gain ourselves a country that is functional. But before I do that, let me read a comment here by one of our viewers this morning, Miss Maina Maureen Wamaitha, saying, absolutely loving the conversation today. Thank you so much for choosing to tune in to our show this morning. And if you have any question for Mr. Oscar Kambona, who we are having the conversation with, kindly hit us up, let us know. And I'm sure he will be very ready to answer, and so let's just get back into the conversation, yeah? We've already assessed some of the many things that are not working. And of course, you did mention that we cannot continue with this politicking of we just come to tete, but we do not come up with solutions, that can sustain the country and, with the people. Why is that, and how do we carve out solutions for ourselves? Because clearly, and when I speak of solutions, I know that we cannot do anything without the government, but we kind of can if we decided to. Yeah.
So, okay, the government are just offices. Government are offices.
I love that.
And these offices, it is us who give them the... It is us who give them the, the mandate, what they should be doing for us, and we are the people who pay them. So one of the solutions that we ought to have had in our country is that we need a country that is service-based. Currently, as things are, our government is not service-based. People who are employed there, they just work for salary and they don't give the service back. And majority are not employed. By the way, recently we had the, the Labor Day? And it was so evident. You could see, by the way, that, we purport to have people in government.
Yeah.
But unfortunately,
you
know that, to say the gap, we have a very big gap of those who work for us. And without these services, we don't have a nation. So we need to do something. And by then, most people are unemployed as well. And that is also a topic that we need to, talk about.
Let's talk about it.
Because those are part of the solutions.
Like you told me, you get over 10,000 people like in your inboxes.
And those are casual jobs.
Wow.
So tell me, what if it were a public service commission job? You'd get over 20,000. Because if you're a casual job of a housemaid, you get over 200 people.
Yeah.
A housemaid of salary of 4,000.
Right.
Someone is telling you, kindly just give me that one. So the unemployment thing, we need to fix it. And how do we fix it? We don't just talk of, let's fix it, and we don't have a solution. One of the solutions we have for the unemployment is that, first of all, we have the 6 major cities. Make these 6 major cities 24-hour economy. After making it a 24-hour economy, then let's make all the public service commission job contractual. So to mean based on renewal, maybe 2 years, then you renew based on, performance. So after making it contractual, then we will if you make a government 24-hour economy, it means that the job which Anne was doing in a single day, which Anne used to earn 60,000, now we'll have to divide that 60,000 into 2, because there's someone who is coming for night shift and there's someone for day shift. At least we are expanding the gap. We are expanding, the net. We are covering now more people. Secondly, the unemployment. Over and over, we've told the government that the biggest employer is the private sector. So what do we do to the private sector? We have the multinational companies, Coca-Cola, the Twitter, the Word. Can you call this, multinational companies here in Kenya? And the government don't give these people, the heavy levies. You have to come here, you have to pay this. Tell them have some agreement with them. The same way he's talking of the PPPs, this is not a loan. So we also want us to be employed in our own country, not taking us abroad. But how do you gonna do that?
Yeah.
We need industries. Where will you get these industries? Let the international community invest in Kenya. Tell someone, for instance, let's pick any company, the Toyota company, for instance. Give them a land as a government. Tell them, we are giving you that land in Kajiado, maybe through county government of Kajiado. But the agreement is you have to employ 100,000 Kenyans. Yes, you can come with your people, but we need and that will make Kenya even the hub of Africa. Because if all the international, bodies come here and they employ our people, and the biggest employer is the private sector, by the way. So government knows what it should be doing, even to fix the unemployment thing, but not doing it. And over again, we've been told that education is the key. Today, the government may shift the focus. Sasa tunaambiwa ni technology.
Yeah.
So everyone again is moving to technology. So I think the government is missing it at some point on how best they can go about the unemployment issue. And to some people also, they don't need even employment. They need empowerment. They need a good country. There are people who would opt to live in a remote area with better water supply. They can do irrigation. But because there is no water in your region, you move to a town. Not necessarily because you love town, but because back at the village, there's no electricity, there's no water. So, and a youth is someone who wants, to experience this comfort. So if the government could be doing electricity in all the villages, so some youth with maybe 20,000 can rear chicken somewhere, will have sustainability when it comes to food production. So the government unemployment issue, we cannot only fix it through employment because not everyone wants to be employed.
Right.
Some people just want to do their own businesses, and some people just want to do farming.
Yeah. So how do we create enabling environments?
Let us create enabling environment. And again, all companies are within towns. Can we get some of the companies? We spread them. We distribute them. The moment you distribute them, it will mean where that company is, they have to get a road to that company or a railway line. That already you've expanded that region. That company, maybe next to it, there will those corporate social responsibility. So they'll build hostels, they'll dig boreholes. So, the government should, get itself from this mindset of we need to have everything in a city because this is what's bringing congestion.
Yeah.
And people becoming unemployed because everyone wants to come to the city to get employed. And there's not that employment. So government kindly make our major cities, the 6 major cities, make them 24-hour economy.
That would be Nakuru, Mombasa, Kisumu, Eldoret, Nakuru and...
Kisumu, Mombasa, Nairobi, Nakuru, Eldoret.
What's the 6th one?
The 5. I mean the 5 cities.
5, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Make them 24-hour economy so that they operate, and the offices within those, those cities, have the public service. These things are just through amendments, and we are done over it. We just amend laws that are governing the Public Service Commission, so to make the jobs contractual.
Yes.
And by the end, one of the things that make people so reluctant when they get the public service jobs is because someone knows I have now the permanent and pensionable, the security. If you can lift that security, people will be performing and we'll have a better country.
People don't perform.
And if someone knows, there is someone who is earning 150,000 today for just signing things. So what is that? Can we make that job contractual and let's have that 150,000 divided into 2 so that one person perform the duty during the day and another person with the same responsibility perform the same duty at night.
At night, right.
At least we'll have 2 people enjoying the same salary, and with that even the tax base is expanded.
You've talked about distributing this opportunities spread out, and I think about the failed attempt that is devolution in Kenya. Honestly, if you ask me, devolution, it is distributed corruption, it is distributed dysfunction. Wouldn't that snowball the dysfunction that we are already in this country? And in devolution even working to begin with?
Yeah, and I would say devolution is working.
How?
Devolution is working because there are those. For instance, let's speak for fisheries, which was devolved to we have the Ministry for Fisheries. If you check in that line, you'll find that there are some things which are now government didn't have that focus much, but now you find there are those doing caging, so you find because those people are close, even the monitoring, capacity building, it is so easy to navigate. Unlike if everything was touched at the national government. So there are certain things which we can give a devolution and go ahead, but the problem is the leadership.
Right.
And the only problem that Kenya has is the leadership.
Or the lack of it.
Yes, because if we release a certain amount to the county government, and also county governments also have a leeway of outsourcing for their own revenue and lobbying for donors to come and inject in their own counties. So if we had the best leaders with leadership mindset, counties could have been performing more because they have that capitation from the government, plus their own revenues that they generate, plus donor funds. We could have better. But what happens in our country? Everyone works towards making their pockets full. So that's where the most conversation should be. And that thing settles with Kenyans because we are the people electing these people. So like right now, we are headed towards electioneering period. People are now bitter with this regime. But the same people will forget and vote these people back again. And then you start again saying this devolution works. And if we empower it and we have the best leaders there, it will work. Yeah, but the government should have, even in the devolution, there was that idea of increasing the funding from 15% to 30%. And you see the government doesn't want to release that money. But it is not that we can't justify that now the national government is doing better. Because if the government itself told us that they're losing 2 billion every day.
Due to corruption.
So even if you withhold this money, still it is being stolen. So can you release it? At least let it be stolen at the lower levels where it can be, money can circulate with the people, to the people, I mean. So I think the government needs to have some plans of solving unemployment issues. And let's have an economy where we have our own, the food reserve should not run dry. This is a country where we import everything. We import maize, we import oil.
Yet we grow
everything
them.
We import. And by the way, what makes us sometimes, according to me, what makes me think that we are not, we can't be that food whatever, is because our lands, people don't have enough land for cultivation. And the lands that people have, some are, rocks, rocky areas. And the largest land areas where people can do farming have been taken by small people, and some are even lying idle. So those are part of what we are writing. Some of the amendments that we think we can navigate in that angle. Can we have a law that is prohibiting someone from owning more than 40 acres of land, so that whoever is having more than 10,000 acres can take back to the government, and that land is being we have IDPs wale wandani kwa ndani in our own country because of lack of land. And these are parcels of land yenye tunaweza tumia for cultivation. Someone is owning, like the recent one of Angata Barakoi. Someone wants to grab more than 1,000 acres of land
and lose lives while fight for it.
Imagine. And you shoot people.
Imagine.
And that is an area where if we can just say that, let's take 2 industries there for processing. But there's something so worth noting. I love documentaries about Europe because every time, we pick example from Europe. There's this country called Denmark. Denmark, Netherlands. If you see how those people do their farming, if you're a farmer, you don't release unfinished product to the market. You do it to finality. What you send to the market is the final product. What does that mean? It means that within the farm, there is a company. And that company has employed people. So these are things which are, and MPs always, they go do benchmarking. But you ask yourself, what are these benchmarking for?
For what?
If we can go that route of even Denmark,
Yeah.
a green country,
Yeah.
people love farming. Not everyone wants employment, and some people will just need that empowerment. So can we empower people with the water? Can we empower people with water and electricity? Because that's the generation where we are. Water, electricity, and good road infrastructure. Those three things, so that if you produce something, it can reach the market at the right
Whatever time. Yeah.
You have the electricity to run your machines, and you have the water to even, we don't depend on, because Kenya, we depend on rainy seasons. What if God does what he does
Whatever
best?
He unplugs the
Yes,
plug.
yes. So I think that puts us to a point where
Yeah.
we need to have a nationwide conversation on each sector of the economy, and we start with those critical sectors of economy.
Right.
Yes.
So what's your clarion? We are really, really stringed for time here. Yeah. As we wrap up the conversation, because mambo ni various, what's your clarion call?
First, I would urge our people to stand with us, the activists.
Okay.
When we call for, a march, let them come out. And
in large numbers.
Yes, we've set a date for you, which is 25th June. We'll stand with the families who lost their work. And we want to make that day to be remembered as other national days in Kenya. Kindly come out. No one will kill you. The lesser you are, the high risk you pose to yourself, you'll be killed. The more you are, the immunity you have. So we are calling for people to come out. Secondly, let no one tell you that you have to wait for a voting period. Voting is just another process.
An event.
We have the power to even send this regime out as early as today. If tomorrow everyone wakes up with the mentality of they must go, all of them, not necessarily Ruto, we say they must go, all of them, we can do it. And now have a conversation of, can we now have a better nation? So I think Kenyans also need to learn that power you are sitting on is the button that we need you to press, and we'll have everything work in our favor. Yes.
What's the future of KPRM? And how can people plug in?
We are working on registering it first.
Okay.
We will be moving to the register of political parties and try to see if we can register it. Okay. After that one, now we have worked on the constitution and the rest, so we will move to the register of political parties and try to register it. Then now we'll be circulating it. But in the meantime, let's enhance the activists and work and do everything possible to reclaim our own country.
Right.
Yes.
Will we ever see a country where the people and the state agree? Do you
Yes.
think?
If there is service, a nation where there is service, people will always agree. And there's so many countries outside here where we can pinpoint where people, even if people disagree, because everyone holds to their views, but it is that of harmony just to bring some sanity back, but it's not to the extent that we are experiencing right now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. He has the final word. You have the final word. You have the final word, and you've had it. You've heard it from Mr. Oscar Kambona himself. He wants us to stay vigilant and to love our country more than we love ourselves, pretty much, right? And so, ndio hayo umesikia. Thank you so much, Oscar, for the amazing work that you are doing. It's stressful. It's a very stressful work,
but it's nice because we are fighting for
Kenyans,
for
a cause bigger than yourself.
Yeah.
So thank you so much, and of course we will look forward to seeing the next step, even as we go towards the first anniversary from the 2024 maandamano. I know a lot of conversations are already happening in the behind the scenes. So it should be an interesting next couple of weeks also here in Kenya. So we'll definitely keep at it because that's what we are here to do. Thank you so much for your time. And thank you to each and everybody who was able to tune in this morning. Shout out to Maureen. That's my girl. Thank you as always for the support. We have been looking at the relationship between we the people and the state. What can we do to ensure that we move forward from that. But before I let you go, of course, I have to plug you in what's happening next. We have Miss Caroline Murote. She comes in with Shiva sessions from 11 a.m. all the way till 1 p.m. So you do want to stick around for that. As well as later on, we have James Wanyoike from 5 p.m. till 7 p.m. with Sharia Dive for all things law. So you definitely do want to catch him for that conversation as well. Mami kama kawaida na banduka, lakini I will see you on Wednesday. We have David Whipper. He's aspirant for Member of Parliament back in Migori County. We'll be talking about his campaign as we also look at Kenya post-protest. Where do we go from here? What are some of the lessons that we have learned from the protest of June 2024 coming up to the first year anniversary? What can we expect and what do we need to do moving forward? So that's a conversation that we shall be having here on Wednesday from 8 a.m. till 10 a.m. But before I let you go, kama kawaida, it's Monday. You know where to find me. For those that are looking for me, please find me in my father's house at Fitness in the Word. This is a fellowship that happens at Nairobi Cinema every Monday from 5 p.m. all the way till 8 p.m. Entry is absolutely free. Come and let's learn what God's word says about everything, including getting a free country perhaps. I'll see you on Wednesday. Bye-bye for now.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
Fine boy with a dark skin, man, you a strong thing. The way you hold your gaze from across the room. Your papa must be king, oh, and your mama must be queen, eh? Cause you're royalty, and you made me crazy. Drip like sugar, smell like honey, taste like butter. East African girl, Nigerian man. You driving me crazy. Drip like sugar, smell like honey, taste like butter. East African girl, Nigerian man. You made me be your. I wanna be your. Oh baby, baby, I wanna be your.
Fine girl from East Africa, original from the motherland. When you look at me, I see your destiny. You've been born from the sea, oh, and your skin is a Sunday. With your beauty, yeah, you drive me crazy. Drip like sugar, smell like honey, taste like butter. Nigerian man, East African girl. Would you be mine? Drip like sugar, smell like honey, taste like butter. Nigerian man, East African girl. Could you be my gilly, gilly, gilly? Could you be my gilly, gilly, gilly? Could you be my gilly, 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 gilly? Could you be my gilly, gilly, gilly? Could you be
From